agree with Big for all of it.
Benny, are you the type of coach that kind of redirects, like pressure's not even making it onto the list? You got to redirect that and use that as fire. Yeah, the type of kid that responds.
No, the Precious is going to see that and automatically just kick into gear. It's just who he is. He's just the type of guy that once he feels disrespect and feels like, oh man, they're not giving me the notoriety that I deserve, then he'll handle that, accordingly. I mean, sometimes you need a little motivation.
Is glue guy the appropriate term for Alex Lomax, or is it something else?
No, you can't say glue guy. He's a guy. He's been playing that way since sixth grade. He's been that type of kid that plays hard-nosed basketball, and he's definitely known for his defense.
Is any player more important than the others in this getting ready? Is like a guy like Alex who's
no, Alex is very important because he's a guy that's going to lead that crew from a veteran's point of view of letting them know what's going to happen, who's who, especially when it comes to the guards in this league, and he'll be ready to go this year.
I heard somebody joking after the opening practice that he's kind of like the mayor. Like everybody in the city knows Alex Lomax and seems to have a friendly relationship with him. Has that been your experience with him?
Yeah, for sure. Alex is a fun-loving kid, and everybody knows him obviously from his glory days at Leicester and at East. Definitely a champion, won 6 championships, in 7 years. So he's a guy that knows how to win, and everybody knows him for sure.
So the city will take care of him whether basketball works out or not, is your sense?
Yeah, for sure. I think he won't have a problem after he retires from doing whatever he does to come back and be a part of the city and everybody, be supportive of it.
Talk about the Midnight Madness event that you guys had. You guys had Moneybag Yo, Future, et cetera, et cetera. You know how to relate to the kids real well. Like, how does that affect kids that want to come to Memphis? Like, what does that do?
Well, I think the madness is not only about our current roster; it's about the recruits that come in there. And when you have that type of talent, that's what they want. You want to give them an experience on that night that they'll never forget. And it was one of those experiences. Like you said, we had Lil Baby, we had Future, we had Young Dolph, we had Moneybag Yo, and that's a crew within itself. And the kids enjoy themselves, and when they enjoy themselves, then we're happy.
You listen to any of them rappers?
I have to because I'm around those kids all the time. So it's not like I can't, but I am a fan though.
I mean, there's always been a special connection between basketball and
Yeah, I think it's I can use the words magical because to be able to grow up in the city and to stay home, I mean, you're there for life, honestly. Because when you become a part of that family, it's different than a kid growing up and going off to college versus a kid growing up and staying home. It's just different.
Talk about that recruiting wise. You can relate to just being that one kid that from elementary school through college, professional, whatever. But when you go and talk to a recruit, they out of the place that's right there in town or inside the state, and says, "Look, I'm from here. I've been a part of this big program. I've been accepted. Make the success and the transition and keep it going."
Yeah, I think that obviously, when I've walked in those shoes already, it's easier for me to go to those kids at home and say, hey, this was my path, this can be your path. Obviously they want to make it to the highest level, a lot of these kids. So, and then also after they're done, look at how they treat us, all the guys that stayed home and played at college at the university. So there's a lot of perks in doing that. Not only to get an opportunity to win a national championship, but when you retire, you can always come back home and do whatever you need to do.
The AAC's got some of the best NBA players as their head coaches, with you, McKee, Johnny Dawkins. When you were in the league, who did you want to play the least as far as McKee or Dawkins go?
No, I didn't get a chance to play against Johnny as much, but Aaron was a fierce competitor. Tough defender. I actually came here when we were in school. They weren't in our conference, but we played Temple here. He and Eddie Jones and that crew. Aaron was definitely a tough competitor, and you had your hands full on a nightly basis with him.
Did you get the 2-on-2 going? You and Mike Miller against Dawkins and McKee, maybe?
Oh yeah, that'd be a knockdown drag out right there. But yeah, that definitely would be fun. I don't know how much legs we have left, but it would be fun.
Do you think that's a trend though? Because I know you got Mike Miller. A lot of these college teams are getting NBA players. How do you think the kids do the kids see that? You've been there, and that you can guide them that way?
I think obviously it's a plus because ultimately, like I said before, these kids want to go to the highest level. And when you played at the highest level, it's easier for you to walk into a living room and say, hey, you want to get there, I can teach you how to get there. I played there for 15 years, and you get a head start on what you really want to do with the plan for me.
What can we expect?
Obviously had a relationship with some of these local kids. long before they signed in Memphis. How much easier did it make for you when you recruited them because it was a trust factor?
Yeah, I think it made it easy because of the relationships. And I think anything that you do around the country with these kids, also the same at home, is you build relationships.
Sure.
And I had the relationship built with a lot of those kids that are on the team already because I coached middle school, coached AAU,
I know.
coached high school. So it gave me an advantage for sure.
Is it weird for you seeing KJ Wilson here? You've had a
It
relationship
is,
with him.
because that's one of my AAU kids. That's a kid that was kind of raised through my program. So to see him at Tulane, I'm proud of him for sure. But it is weird seeing him here in Tulane.
Have you talked to him at all throughout the
Oh
process?
yeah, I've been talking to him, joking with him all the time, and making him laugh.
This thing just kind of blew up. I mean, after the Jeffries and Wiseman thing, did you, the number one class in the country, by distance. I mean, it's pretty amazing to do it in the first year.
Yeah, it was truly a blessing. A lot of great things had to happen for that to happen. The kids recruit themselves as well. So when we got James and DJ, they started making calls, and we were doing our job as coaches, trying to build those relationships, and it all worked.
Talk about that. One of the biggest things about recruiting these days is the kids being the ones that helping the team get to where it needs to go. Because, like you said, the AAU programs and all these guys playing with each other, they looking at that and like, hey, we can all stay together for a little while longer and make this work.
Right. Yeah, that's probably piggybacking off of what the league has done over the years, with especially what happened with LeBron and Chris Bosh and D Wade playing together, and these kids have been playing in these All-Star games since they were like 6th, 7th grade. So when it comes down for a decision to go to college, they want to stay together, and that's what's happening.
Are you at a point now where you're just ready to play the games? You're just tired of
I
playing?
am. I mean, obviously, I love the process of all of this leading up, but I am anxious to be ready to play and ready for the games.
How do you manage expectations both inside the